Hey guys, so I had a couple of you ask me about a demonstration for the 5 minute face. So I said, well, why don't I just show you what I do and how I apply everything and kind of give you an idea of how it goes. So it'll be a little bit longer than 5 minutes probably because I talk through the products, but typically when you do this look, 5 minutes is all you're going to need. So there's 6 products that are included. The first is our foundation primer. So our primer has an SPF of 15, which is awesome because it gives you that sun coverage. It's clear in color, so I'll actually show you on my finger so you can see. So it's clear in color, so it's good for any skin tone. There's no need to have like a certain match or anything like that. And so when you apply it, it's just like a gel, but it applies like absolute silk. It's really funny because I have women all the time that'll say, geez, I love that primer. It just feels so nice on the skin. And so basically what primer is going to do is you're just going to apply it all over just gently. And it's just going to fill in all those pores and like the divots and the dents. That's kind of what I say, to give you a smoother foundation application, help it last a little bit longer and just look a little bit more natural because you're not going to have those gaps and lines, right? So sometimes when you see women who have like lines in their foundation, it's often because they're not using a primer. So primer is key for me. So that's the first product, primer. The second thing that you're going to use that I will not leave the house without is our under eye corrector. Now, it's a little bit different than a concealer because this one comes in just one shade. It's a peach, okay? So peach, it's done that way because peach combats purple. So basically anything under the eye that would be like purpley, this is going to change. For me, you'll notice I do actually have lids that are a little bit darker as well. So I actually go right up onto my lid with this product because that's what it's for, right? It's for the purple and it's going to correct. So what you're also going to notice about this quick demo is that I'm not using any makeup brushes. I typically do use makeup brushes, but for this 5 minute face, this is like, we're talking, okay, I've got to get this on and get out the door or I'm going to be late for work. So I'm not using any brushes for this particular demonstration. And you know what? It's okay for this one. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one eye. Maybe I'll do one side of the face, but I'll do one eye just so you can kind of see the difference. So let's see which one looks a little bit darker. I'm just gonna look behind here at my mirror. I'll go, so just a little bit over, and I do go a little bit like under and over because again, the purple underneath the eye. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of gently move that into the skin and on the top as well. And what you're gonna notice instantly is the color that has changed, right? So you can see this as I'm rubbing it. The color is totally different. Just look at how much more awake this eye is versus this eye. So this under eye corrector is my favorite product of all time. I will not leave home without it. I call it like sleep in a bottle. Okay, that's what this is. It's sleep in a bottle because it totally wakes up the eye. So under eye corrector. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, I'll do both sides. You guys can see the difference there. That way I don't go leaving looking crazy. So just same thing again, dab it in, just really gently rub it in. You don't want to ever be really aggressive on that eye area. Your eye area is the thinnest skin on your body, has no elasticity whatsoever. So once you stretch that and you pull that to a point where like an elastic band, it's just not going to come back. So be really, really gentle on the eye area all the time. So look, now I look awake, okay? So now what we're going to do is our CC cream. So I did talk a little bit about this one, or I shared a little bit about this one before, but this is the one that I always use for a 5 minute face just because again, I'm super red and I love the basic coverage that it gives me. So this also has an SPF 15 and so does this. So of course together I'm up to 30. Now my skincare has SPF in it as well. So I'm kind of like multi-coverage, right? I've got all kinds of coverage going on, but worst case scenario, you didn't get to add, anything for the day, then this one has that SPF 15 in there. So I use Very Light. That's the shade that I use. This one does come in like 5 shades, sorry. We just added a new shade. But typically Newfoundland women, I will say most women that are here in Newfoundland, some of you ladies who are out on the mainland, you guys might have a little bit, more sun than we do. But for the most part here in Newfoundland, a lot of women, very light, sometimes light to medium, but medium to deep is kind of a rarity here in Newfoundland for women. So I use Very Light. And again, I'm just going all over my face with my hands. I would typically use tools, But again, 5-minute face, right? We're doing this in a hurry to get out of the house quick. So you're going to notice, like you can see already how the redness, how it's changed my face. And it just helps to even out the coverage. It's really neutral. It's really natural. It's a really natural finish, a really natural coverage. It's not heavy at all, but it just gives you that little bit of something. And so what's really cool about this one in particular is that it's buildable, which means you can always go back in for another layer. So for example, I'm not really too happy with how red it is right here. So what I'll do is I'll just go back over and I'll kind of just work a little bit more in there. And then it kind of tones down that redness right away. So it is buildable, which means, like I said, if you do have areas that are a little bit more red or anything like that, you can just kind of go back in over and it will double up. So it's really funny because some women will say, oh, okay, so like 2 coats means I look like a movie star. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So it's really kind of a preference thing for how much of it that you use, but you guys can see just a little tiny bit that I use. Basically 1 pump, because this is a pump bottle. So 1 pump pretty much does my whole face, which is awesome. If you're not as hydrated, like if you're not using a regular skincare routine, meaning like a basic cleanser and moisturizer, that's like the very basic, then your skin may not be as hydrated. So you may need a little bit more, but as your skin is properly hydrated, you'll need less and less. So 1 pump will typically cover everything, right? And so for me, sometimes I've got like a bit of red nose, so I like to go back in over that. But yeah, most times you'll see that the 1 pump will be perfect for your whole face. So the next thing that I'm going to do out of the 5-minute face is the liquid eyeshadow. Now guys, these are fairly new. These only came out February, I believe. I think it was, no, maybe it was a little bit, maybe it was December. But they sold out like super quick because people absolutely love them. Now we still have them now, of course, the regular line product, but they were super popular. So they actually replaced a product that we used to have, a cream eyeshadow. So if you've ever tried that, it is incredible, but this is the new replacement for it. And so this is just 2 shades. We actually have 4, but these are the 2 that I kind of use most commonly on a day-to-day basis. So this one is called Light Beam. It can also be used as a highlighter, and this one is called Pink Starlight, which can also be used as a highlighter. So it's kind of a multi-use product. Now I'm going to use Pink Starlight because that's the one I really like. It's kind of like a rose gold. And so basically what you're going to do is just on the lid like this. Okay. And then same thing, because we're doing this 5-minute look, we're not using any brushes. We're just going to kind of rub that in just like that, right? So it's a really, I'll get in a little bit closer so you guys can see that there's some color on there. I have a hooded eye, so you can't really tell all the time. But it's a really neutral, like really pretty color. Right, so you guys can kind of see that a little bit better there. It's really hard to kind of show on camera, but again, it's like super, and then you can just kind of go back in and kind of pat it in, right? And then you get like, now you can kind of see, right? So you get that really pretty shimmery look with this one. And I'll do the other eye too, so I don't look crazy. Okay, so just like that. And then same thing, you're gonna go back in with the finger. And you're just going to kind of work it around and dab it in. I love this product. It's so easy to use. It's fabulous for any lady. Now, I get this question all the time. Okay, so I've got older, I've got looser eyes, I guess is the way to say it. So women who, as we age, right, our eyes just tend to age with us because, of course, that's how it goes. Your neck, your hands, and your eyes. That's the first places that we show signs of aging. So for a gal who is not, for a gal who has a looser eye, you're not going to want to use a shimmer shade. You're going to want to avoid shimmers typically, and you're going to use matte shades. So unfortunately, these ones don't come in mattes, but we do have eyeshadows that come in mattes. So if you're concerned about that at all, then just let me know and I can work something out with you. But these are the ones that I typically use just for a very quick look. And like I said, they're super shimmery, super pretty. So this is the mascara that I'm going to use. It's our ultimate mascara. It's my bestseller by far. It's a volumizing mascara. Okay, so I don't know if you just heard that, but hear that? So if your mascara doesn't make that noise when you open it up, it means that it's dried out and it's gone bad and you should throw it out immediately. 3 months is a replacement standard for mascara. That's not a Mary Kay standard. That's a Health Canada standard. So really important that you follow that. If you have mascara at home and you're like, oh my gosh, I know that's been there more than 3 months, throw it out. Please throw it out. And if you open it, it doesn't make that sound, immediately throw it out. So anyway, this guy comes in black and black brown. And so here's the brush, right? Very typical mascara brush. I'm going to try to do this in my mirror and not stab myself in the eye. So basically, when you apply, you're just going to kind of blink down. Now, people ask me all the time, what about your bottom lashes? Well, personally, I don't like to apply to my bottom lashes, and here's why. When you are feeling a little more tired looking, when you apply to your bottom lash, sometimes it actually closes the eye up and makes you look a little bit more tired. So I always avoid the bottom lash, but it's totally up to you. It's a personal preference thing. So you can totally apply to the bottom. If you do apply to the bottom lash, make sure you go to the bottom first and then the top. That way, when you're, looking down, your top lashes are not hitting the top of your eye. Okay. So that's just kind of like a little pro tip. Okay, so like you can already see, total difference. I love this mascara. It's definitely one of my favorites by far. Right? Really, really pretty, really natural. And again, when we're talking 5 minutes out the door, this is what we're going with. Okay, so if you've got like a question about a mascara and you're like, I'm really not sure what one, this is the bestseller by far. But we do have ones as well that are like great for length. We've got some that are great for volume and length. We've got our lash intensity, which is like 200% more volume, 85% more length. So it really depends on what you're looking for. But this one is just volume. And so it's super pretty, super natural. And it's a mascara that I love. Okay, so last product in the 5-minute face is our Nourishine lip gloss. Okay, so it's this one here. This is the color that I've chosen just because it's super neutral. So it's called Silver Moon, and it's basically just an opalescent. So it's great for everybody. Okay, and sometimes I'll even use it over my regular lipsticks, which is why mine has a pink tip on it. But basically, it's just going to go on there and super pretty, right? Super pretty, a little bit of shine. It comes in like 18 different shades. So we do have a bunch of shades, pinks and neutrals and mattes and all that kind of stuff. So depending on what you like, we do have something for you. But this is my favorite one because it goes with everything. And it's really, really great added over top of your favorite lip color. So anyways, guys, that's a really quick 5-minute face. I know it took a little bit longer, like I said, for me to talk through the products, but I hope you enjoyed. And if you've got any other questions about these products or how you can kind of work this 5-minute routine into your life, then just let me know. Thanks. Bye.